So now we have powerhouse of the Indian energy sector on stage, and it feels really proud that all of us are actually from IIT Roorkee. So it is wonderful that today the Indian energy landscape is being shaped up by architects who have come out from IIT Roorkee. I take this as a pride opportunity to be hosting this session, and I would try to do my best. Uh, to begin with, let me read out a brief introduction of the panelists today. Uh, First is Pankaj Agrawal sir. He's a 1992 batch IAS officer from MP cadre, and he graduated from IIT in 1989 with civil engineering. And currently, he is actually the Union Power Secretary for Government of India, shaping up the policies, structure, and the growth of Indian energy sector. Uh, he's an accomplished technocrat, no doubt. He's from IIT. And well-crafted administrator. And in his role as a power secretary, Pankaj sir is overseeing one of the largest power capacity expansion programs in the world, in India. And he's playing a pivotal role in shaping India's energy policy. Thank you very much, sir, for being here today. Next, we have Adhip Chaudhuri, sir, who is sitting just next to me. And he is currently CMD of Balmer Lawrie Company Limited. He did his graduation from IIT in the Electronics and Communication engineering in 1992, and he's been heading the Balmer Lawrie family since 2024. Uh, he is actually the company which he is leading is more into intersection of so many works, and possibly the topic for today is where exactly he will add a lot of value, how exactly he will take benefit of the company is going to shape India's AI future in energy. Last but not the least, we have Saumitra sir. He is working with IUCL as Director of Marketing. He graduated from IIT Roorkee in 1993, uh, 1990. And since then, he's with IUCL in various roles. If I see that he have also done his executive MBA from SPJN, and he is also chairman of Indian Oil Mauritius as well as Indian Oil Petronas. So he's been holding several leadership roles across the IOCL family. Before I come to the technical part of it, sir, and because you guys, all of you have so much of experience, let me take you back to IIT Roorkee. And probably first I will ask you, Pankaj sir, what is the most exciting moment of you when you were there in IIT? One single moment which you can talk about. I know this was not yours.
Very difficult question. Like coming from home by heat, yeah, there's a lot of discipline in there. You don't need to audit both itself and experience with the Roorkee, with the traffic culture, best thing you going to the mess itself was the one of the biggest cultural shocks. Like, yeah, but at the end of the day, like having spirit friends, bodies were always there to support either senior or here. Yeah, you build your fire
Absolutely, sir. So let me continue with you only, and let us try and understand that how exactly India is now gearing it up for the net zero. We know that we plan to get a net zero by 2070, and most of our work is the energy sector is now geared up towards that. Last year was actually 1 year where we added the maximum of the renewable energy in the history. My question to you is that if you look ahead, how's the policy evolving to face the change, especially in a world where AI is now no more I know it is working across the sectors. So when you talk about, say, grid resilience, when we talk about demand side intelligence, when we talk about energy sufficiency, how do you foresee the future?
when we Right now, three rules of the data planning and the reach sufficiency happens to be equal. I deal with only 22% of the overall energy requirement of the country, remaining 78% is divided into oil and gas and coal. So for electricity systems are concerned, we plan ourselves to meet the demand all the time, at all time lots, and in a very cost optimal manner, while providing sufficient reserve. So that is the core of the time. Our energy transition is a reality. So now the US is now talking about the abundance. And next G20, the US will actually shape the policy dialogue around energy. That will not be an But as a responsible citizen of the global threat, we have taken over on this pause, and the country has taken resolve to be at zero white peaks. And we have done the detailed planning for the period for this. Of course, the change in technology scenario, the creative costs of various options, and the that will show be impacted about that. But immediately, I can say that for 2025, uh, we have like 9 to 8 that deliver energy in a manner like start capacity we have really things period. Uh, with renewable energy, the challenge of grid resilience, the very, very real challenge. We need to build energy storages, the lot storages, whether it's the package energy storage systems or the pumped storage systems. Right now, we have major capacity like 200 gigawatt of battery energy storage system and about 6 to 7 gigawatt of pumped storage systems. We need to really scale it up to the level of 300 gigawatt hour by 2030. So that's a big task before us. Uh, we are shaping our policies in a manner that promote storage. And we have started with some viability grant, viability gap funding, but we'll eventually shape up the policy that the developers, the procurers are all basically they seek storage and then the integrated service. Uh, Another requirement will be of the flexible operation of the liaison systems, and that's a big challenge. But we are actually going in that direction. Uh, with that will also come the requirement of developing good forecasting tools because with the change in climate, the demand patterns are shifting, and also the renewable energy sources, the quantum of generation we can expect in real time, that will also shift. And with these variations to be handled, AI will be a very very potent tool. Uh, I would like to add that when we discuss AI, we discuss grids for AI and also AI for grids. When we plan the grids for AI, I think your question was related to that. Presently, the total data center capacity of the country is about 1.3 gigawatt, and what we are estimating is by the 2032, the data center power requirement will be of about 30 kilowatt. Would that necessarily means about 10x to 11x will be the party of the city. We have a huge system, so that is not a challenge that people will not be able to beat it. We can surely meet it in a very flexible manner. The challenge will be that the data centers are asking for renewable energy on the hourly match, the match of inhabitants person. It is like the kind of PhD posts the Googles of the world have adopted. And meeting their demand with the renewable energy in a cost effective manner will surely be a challenge. That is why you might have noticed that Vizag is coming up as a bigger center. And similarly, Kanla will also come up as a big center. So those states which have huge renewable energy potential, where they can locally supply the renewable energy requirement of the data centers, I think they will surely have a net. Like
One follow-up question also, Sunny, in that because you spoke about the demand for these data centers, and we're talking about not just net zero transition or abundance. but it is how innovatively we can do. And that is where the role of startups also comes into picture. How do you plan to integrate startups role in this? And then what else, question?
You might have noticed that India has a very large smart metering program, and right now we have about 50 million smart meters already placed in the system. And the idea is to ultimately provide more than 200 billion smart meters.
What idea?
Billions and billions of data points are going to be generated on a daily basis. The challenge is how we spread this data. And we have noticed many challenges, including the challenges which were discussed in the first session about the data sharing policies and how can we actually support the startups financially with a credible use case and with the business at the end of the day. So we have started working on the data sharing policy. We have also launched a hackathon, what we call as Powerthon, and right now the Powerthon is going on, where we are backing it, the challenge with the money and also with equity business down the line. So that is one initiative we have already taken. On the forecasting side, we have talked in IIT Mumbai, and with IIT Mumbai and some of the researchers there, we are working on rapid regional forecasting limits, the renewable energy forecasting. We have integrated the IMD weather system data with the forecasting needs now. And till now, the challenge has been that we were using some of the German and the Spanish models and were largely dependent on the European subtext and data. For the first time, we are making a credible attempt to realize our own data, satellite-based data, our own DA market web data, and our own people who are developing these formats in data.
Wonderful, sir. Thank you very much. Taking it further, I'm now turning to Adhip sir, you. As I said, Lawrie's work area is more currently intersection, work with energy, logistics, industry services. How do you see that the introduction of AI is going to change things for the better, bringing both cost efficiency or performance sacrifice? And how exactly is it going to impact your business? I think that will be.
Yeah, thank you, Azam, for the question. So quickly on Bamatari. So Bamatari has got, as you already mentioned, very, very diversified business. Most of us out here know us for the travel and the ticketing business. But then our largest business is actually industrial packaging, where we are producing steel rods. And then another large chunk of business is logistics. So I take these two to kind of experience whatever possibility of the AI, the forest very benefits as well as impacted. So if you look at industrial packaging, packaging itself has a concept cerebral something that is in that set super towards. I mean nobody really eats the package. People are all about the product. One thing packaging is needed to make sure it is safe, it's transport across the large distance and so on and so forth. Now, so here there is a great opportunity I think that is emerging of material science because that is where I think a lot of experiments, a lot of things can happen with the usage of yes, technology like AI in order to make sure that you are able to, let's say, bring down the thickness of the steel that is used on making a drum. A single millimeter say can actually translates into many, many gigawatts of carbon emission because virgin steel requires coal, requires iron ore, requires big funds. You've created drum using 80 kgs and if you bring that from 80 now 30 kgs, you're creating that much saving. So a lot of technology usage is going to come out there. Alternate materials. Now, AI produces steel drums in our business. We are having a joint venture with another company called Rife Corporation, which is a global leader in packaging. And they are producing plastic drums. Plastic drums here already have already introduced the regulation of making sure that there is a, I think, a 30% usage of reused plastic. So, which basically means that there is one set of virgin plastic Another set of virgin plastic at the intermediate material is something that is reused. So there'll be a lot of effort in making sure that we are able to source. I think in India, the biggest challenge as opposed to Western world is sourcing the used plastic. So there are opportunities of technology, make sure that we are able to know where exactly is the plastic, which finally is getting consumed. A lot of uses would be there in terms of making sure that we are having embedded things like IoT, etc., to track. The moment you talk about packaging, once again, the other dimension that comes in is in terms of circular, right? Because if you are able to bring the package back and then once again, I mean, fill it in content, it that much saving. So, as opposed to single-use packages, gradually the country is going to move over to what is known as IBCs, intermediate bulk containers, which is 1,000 kiloliter, have 1,000 liter boxes, which can go back and forth and then 8, 10 kind of transits, as opposed to the drum, which is typically when you want. So if you are seeing that those kind of technologies, so route planning, picking up empty IBCs, all of these get enabled by technology. So this is I'm referring entirely about the packaging, but the moment you talk about packaging, cannot keep logistics aside. Because if you are, I mean, for example, I mean, this is the fact incidentally, is this 210 liter steel drum. The core design is actually Riot's 90, but yeah, there was an American Careper guy who has patented the product 90/20, so this boundary across 100 years, and the product is still there. Now it is there because of certain usage, certain now if that gets rich, we are talking about much more technical. So you're talking about automation of all links. You're talking about electrification, warehouse. So logistics will actually change as it brings the logistics actually right there also. We'll be able to take advantage. So there'll be a lot of opportunity where I think the warehousing and the material handling within the warehouse, the tracking, all of that is going to get, I think, able with technology. And the combination of other arts in logistics and the choice of packaging used, keep in mind, is that impact for the industry at large. And I'm sure the emissions hit and we will try it is to how it part.
So thank you very much, sir. I think it's a very detailed response to this question. But before we come to Soumya sir, Adhip sir, your BTech moment, your IIT Roorkee.
Okay, so that would definitely be getting invited for the Sarojini Bhavan evening, whatever.
That was during the years of BTech or after the years?
That means after years to कभी गए होंगे सरोजिनी भवन में तो definitely नहीं. So I mean that's in there. ये इसमें ज़्यादा question मत पूछो सर.
Yeah, thank you very much. Sir, telling to you, Saumitra, sir, we all know about IOCL. IOCL is like the biggest energy touch point for almost actually majority of the population of India. You all there was one single individual you find IOCL reaching out there. How and when we talk about net zero possibly, it is one area which will be impacting or affecting your operations where likely the first or anything. How do you reimagine your refineries and your marketing network with the net zero talks and with the advent of AI? Do you want to convert it into a multi-fuel platform incorporating biofuels, hydrogen, and various other fuel sources? What are your views on
Thank you, Adhip. Uh, Indian Oil being the largest refiner in the country, and to be frank, the demand of the energy is increasing at much higher trajectory now, and therefore you will see that from late about to be pricing particularly have about the decade in like by eight. So the refinery is going to go up, and you are tempted, there is a dilemma that we have to go to net zero. All the oil companies have declared for Indian one equal to 2046 by our years at QC, they have declared about 2040 at RE. So there is a, but we have to, as a energy starved country, we import all city like this, and all 50% of the SAF. So we have to see about the energy security, its and on affordability, the electricity plus sustainability, key pillars of basic science. We have to achieve that balance act between these two as keep that they are down. All the EU want neutrality ये pizza no fix now we are at 20%. We then we have the biogas, and then even we are talking now about the biosecurity. Besides that, for the aviation sector, the sustainable aviation, which is coming from the US pretty wide and from right now also. And then I'm going to check which is from there. So these are some of the areas where the companies that developing the technology, taking lot of startups have also joined ecosystem because we know that our approach is on the refining or the marketing part of the newer technology. We need more agile, so we can also be a building that on this with lot of startups. Then on the other part is the electric vehicles ecosystem where we are close with that. So we are first 80 kVs, 80 this manufacturer works. So as a company, we are all the oil companies actually are looking to build this ecosystem and transition towards that net zero target. Though the energy demand, which is expected to double by the year 46 when we are targeting net zero. So I would say it is not like replacing the current fossil fuel. It is basically fossil fuel plus. So whatever growth is that will come from the other sources, alternate energy pipe. So there is a balance which should taken, and the accessibility to the people that whether people, each and every person. The as of now, will be see the marketing network. We have about how many took 1 lakh each the big in the world. And, we are able to reach now every corner from the gate, the Harriet barrier, the north. But still, you can see there is a growth happening. Last 9 months, there is a boost. Pursuing with this, but actually, LPG is operating. Barbary. So the demand, the country need more energy at the one side is have substitute by the automated so it is making the correct setup of and the decarbonizing by we definitely figure out different steps we take here. Like the turbine people run on the condensed oil or the gas, clear brain, run them over the John Green produce the similar hydrogen which was produced by a cat now kind of we are looking for the electrolysis. I think it's us we look us the rate is at established by a that he did all things up to five where he had you again established the rate to a bidding for a law. Yeah, see some of the steps as the oil it is and with the Indian of taking reduce them as well as keep that energy security of.
So, if I get you correctly, maybe from your thoughts, I can make out that there is a coexistence for both oil and gas as well as the new energy solutions. And it is not like within the next 10 years or 15 years, oil and gas is going to be wiped out. Uh,
No, I see because gas is basically a transitional product, we would say, low carbon product, which we are using. As of now, it's about 6% of the total basket for 90 billion. As set a target that she thinks so we have 50% charge. So there's a lot of scope on that side, though it gets hampered because of the price volatility and habit. But definitely, the gas is to space for PNG network, then the LNG usage of LNG. These are products with low carbon. And this emission which come from those that are much higher coming up. As I said, because there is a demand which is increasing at much higher pace. So this product will exist, but the growth trajectory may get tapered down and you may not grow much over maybe after 30-35, there may be a slight decline on. But this will exist till what we see in the 2050, we are going to see that petrol decline.
Oh, sharp. Think one. And I know that the SPE expect this question from you also. But what is your idea? Not what?
So, my I would say there were many of such incidents which happened in Roorkee, but the first which I very vividly remember is our Ginka Bhavan mess, where we were totally new and we went, and then there used to be a one butler with the cap and all, and that was something very actually interesting. And then he used to tap us when we were trying to do some, which was not a pro- So I still remember I tell my children that when they go to their hostel, they don't have that privilege of having such next year. And secondly, I'm just forgetting the name, the movie hall, which was, no, not outside the our. So there was a one movie one where we used to go in the evening. That was what where that group used to get lot of shop. So these are some of the things which I still remember.
Quite relevant for most of us, I'm sure. Thank you very much, all of you, for being so candid with us as far as sharing your ID movement is concerned. Sir, coming back to Pankaj, sir, now you spoke about grid balancing scale. How do you see AI and digital energy platforms? They are becoming a form of public energy trust. I think in the previous session also we spoke something about the actual infrastructure and how exactly it can help. Energy being a extremely capital intensive industry and extremely conservative as far as using new and innovative solutions because of the risk. How do you see this thing particularly shaping up in the industry? What is the role do you think the business and this great?
So what we are doing is breaking the data silos, and it's really the the interoperability of the system. So to be under the guidance of Nanda Vivekani, we have set up Indian and his stack, and that is exactly what he now providing a layer to which the different fragmented systems can communicate with each other. We'll eventually also link it to the UPI. What we call is that we are in the process of setting the basic framework for a UPI for energy systems. And once we do that, we'll also link it with the UPI, exit UPI, so that like all the services transactions, they actually get paid. So unless there is an incentive date of the day, no transaction will happen. What we are trying to be right. I'm happy to announce that by 18th of March, we will be coming up the first paper for the money.
That's great. I think this requires an applause from all of us for this initiative. Thank you very much for listening to it. Let me come back again to Saumitra. I have seen again we related to scale, how fast you scale up and to are there close to the every local part of the country. My question to you is, and now this is more related to AI. How do you plan to integrate AI with respect to your refineries, pipelines, the fueling stations, so that the added cost is not passed on to the customer, the energy efficiency is maintained without having any consequence upon the cost?
Sure. Definitely, AI is now an integral part of whatever the refinery operations are there or the pipeline. I would say in the pipeline, actually, our pipelines are all SCADA controlled and they are actually free of human interventions. Actually, though we still keep one or two manpower at our pumping stations and all, because now they're all the system, they are all AI empowered and the pipelines run seamlessly as per the product which is pushed and all from that. So there is very little intervention, and basically the technology has taken over the pipeline systems of the company. Second, on the refinery, there are a lot of intervention, including digital twins and all for the repair maintenance part of it, and for the optimizing the refinery operations, getting the products which are more profitable from the same crude, which streams need to be taken out, which to be recirculated with now petrochemical integration at Paradip and Gujarat also in Wanipat. So there are lot of technology interventions to one is the reliability part of the equipments, the system. Second is of the profitability part of the which through what test we can get out of it. On the because I have been on through in marketing, so marketing there is a because unless until customers like you come to our forecourt, we will not get our margins. So there is a lot of work be done on the customer centricity with at every touch point. How do we interact with them at our touch points? Plus on the data analytics part of it, because we get about 3.5 crore footfalls every day across the country. The challenge remains how do we capture the details of the customers, because customer is very important for us. But we have a database of about 3 crore of customers, but I definitely get that at least 40 crore customers are coming to our club. How do we get them captured in our information system? How do we interact with them? These are some of the challenges on which we are working with some of the technology consultants. And the second thing is how do we the data which actually get generated and analyzed internally, how do we make it possible that seamlessly helps us interacting with the customer? That is another part where a lot of work is happening. So we have made a portal which we call Vishleshan, our internal portal. Where there's all the data which is coming in from each transaction is actually gets captured and it comes to us. Then we do the analysis on what the leakage side, how the people are behaving. So these all requires technology, and it is being done seamlessly. Command center at our Mumbai office, where there are set of 6 7 who are able to discuss that across the country. So definitely technology giving us an edge, but much more needs to be done.
Sure, and I'm also aware about the startup program which IIT runs. We at IIT Roorkee have been a part of that program for some years, and a few of our startups also got a chance to get funding from that program. So that I think is a way of integrating startups and also needed finance.
Yeah, we actually feel because there are to do everything ourselves is I thought thing is not possible in today's world. Therefore, this ecosystem is required. We have collaborated with very good startups in the recent past who have developed, including the dispensing units to which you get petrol. One of the startup at Bangalore, they have developed it. The state of art dispensers which can be controlled from our office and all. So plus even because see as a oil company we provide beside few there's a toilet at the fuel stations on the highways to keep the hygiene of these toilets. So one of the startup has come with a very good toilet design which cushion itself, keels itself once a person comes out without any intervention. So there are certain such good initiatives that are on the.
Thank you very much, sir. And the last question for this panel is for Adhip sir. Adhip sir, you're leading a diverse finance, and in that position, probably you will have ample chance to contribute in like areas. And when we talk about decarbonization, when we talk about cleaning the whole value chain and all, I believe that the introduction of AI, Mama Lawrie, can make a big difference. How do you foresee your role as a company in this objective of our country for decarbonization with the use of AI?
Um, I I think the expectation that you're having of Brahman is high because our company is a small company. So probably will not be able to have that much of an impact in magnitude perspective. But what I see is that the if you look at the overall decarbonization, it talks about the principal company, which is somebody like us, and then there will be the value chain. To say it would be applicable for IOC or everybody for that matter, because you are having your primary vendors, you would be having their vendors, so like a entire value chain, and that will be for auto, for everywhere, shipbuilding, any of this. So I think what I see primarily as an opportunity that is going to emerge for principal organizations like Cadavars is that how we are able to deploy standards, governance mechanisms. So there are various kind of platforms. So where you are able to track with lot more certainty, leveraging AI tools to make sure that what is the level of compliance and in that sense, I would say towards the pipeline that all our supply chain, the entire value chain. Suppose we are, and just to take one small example, very quickly. Now we are manufacturing drums. In that there is steel coming in. Steel has a level of oil, otherwise steel rust. Now, if I take that oil away and then do the painting, that's the process. Then that is leading to a lot of what? Lot of efforts. Now, if I get without the oil, that's great. So, if I need to work with somebody like say changed up, get that speed, super. Alternatively, if I really to get a mail from a paid company which can actually uh, be deployed even with a thing field point at a support the attacks, but avoiding the whole it. So the idea is to go down to the values and we are doing it at our level. I'm very sure everybody have the opportunity to do it at their level. Yes. And the use of technology will make sure that you can be tracked, opportunities get support, learnings from larger system provided those your for the right checks be once more safe with happy.
Thank you very much, sir. I think it's been a wonderful discussion, picking up your mind on some very pretty diversified topics. One thing is very consoling for me, being the incubated identity, is that all of you are actually working in startups. All of you are open for incorporating innovation, new technologies. I think this is something which is extremely good for our institute because we have numbers of startups who are now working on clean tech. And when we talk about tech, AI, many sectoral thing like energy, which is extremely capital intensive, risk averse, I think with support which you people are giving, I'm sure that we'll see a lot of good startups coming out from IIT in the future. Uh, uh, if we have some time for one or two questions, uh, yeah, so please just ask your question, no observation, very brief. If somebody can give mine too.
Good afternoon, sir. This question is for Pankaj. It's a privilege to be part of your team. And my question is with respect to a particular effective practice. You have touched almost all aspects of it. You have that toxicology perspective. Every system, whether the theory system, everything which is required for RA integration. I would like to have your views about one element which will play a major role, that is the cable system. The high voltage C cables and high voltage AC cable, which will be very much required for the offshore response and the places where there is a view right of we got spared. And on this person world one. So I would like to have your view from policy perspective. Do we have any such things to localize them? I have this technology here. So I think the best person to answer this question is VK Sisa, who is member of Bharat System University Authority. But I will see. The right of way constraints have actually forced us now. You right now cables up to 400 kV.
Yes.
And with the recent experience of the Banadiban Darila and the other line, we have made compensation on the order of 39 crores a kilometer. If we had gone underground twice, we would have ended up 33 crores for the towing that. So it makes tremendous sense within the metro areas, metro cities, and also around the metro cities, like Sohan and Vilna. Uh, we have not been able to take forward the offshore bit projects till now because of the cost disadvantages. As we are quite hopeful that if we come up with a large project off the shore of Tamil Nadu, probably we will get a big opportunity. The country is planning of something big like about 4,000, 5,000 megawatt meter scale. And if that comes, the subsea cable industry will also come into the country. There are manufacturers who are already has already spoken to me on a cab is quite interesting. So maybe we'll see a lot of action there.
I think unfortunately we are not able to take more questions because of the paucity of time. I'm really sorry, sir. But all of these dignitaries will be available on the stage. We will have ample time to interact with them. Thank you very much, and thank you all of the panelists today.